My dreams come true.
Welcome back to Weebology Podcast, everyone. This is episode 13. This is our JoJo discussion.
Part
2. We've got Ricky in, we've got Ethan in, and we've got
this?
Robo
Whoa.
Pat.
All right,
You've
beep
totally
boop, who's
shifted.
this?
You've shifted all the way.
I'm just like Araki shifting in part 4 from
Ooh,
part 3.
So you got a
Wow.
little more feminine. Nice.
Yeah,
a little more
so
feminine.
I'm Metro right now.
You're Metro, and you
Sweet ace.
moved. It sounds like.
For you guys, it's a whole week, but for us, was an instantaneous moment of time, or maybe a bathroom break. Who knows?
Life
but,
is but a drop in the bucket.
Dang man, that was deep.
wow,
I
wise.
know.
It's kind of sad too.
It smells like Hallmark kickbacks right there. Yeah.
Yeah, where's my cards?
Where's my cards? Where's my card
You want
cash?
cards as a kickback from Hallmark? You don't want money?
Nah,
You want them
Yeah.
to give you a card?
I want coupons for
Specifically for
Kamui,
graduation cards, the ones that you never ever use.
congratulations.
Nice. You should write them a letter and use that.
And you can write them a really nice card too. And they'll be like, "Wow,
Anywho,
this
guys.
card's awesome, sweet."
So we are talking basically in part 1. We talked all the way up to part 3. We're
Yeah.
in a little bit into part 4, and now I get to bitch some more because I'm in the middle of part 4.
I think my conspiracy theory on this whole thing is that we made it. Ethan suggested part 2, so we just had more bitching time. That's all he wanted.
Interesting.
More than 11.
In
More than
fact,
11.
he asked me to be on the podcast knowing I would say I wanted to do JoJo because he wanted to complain.
Did Ethan just big brain us into being able to
I think he
bitch on
big-brained
Mike?
us into having us in a room and having to listen
Well, I
to
get
why
to
he
bitch
doesn't
on
like
Mike
it.
anytime that we record, so
Yeah,
I don't
so
really need it to be JoJo's.
we're gonna talk more about JoJo. We're gonna do. We got a suggestion. Pat's gonna play a little pitch or ditch.
Right,
He has a
he's
show
gonna-
he wants to pitch
Thank you
us.
so much. I can't wait.
And then
so
we're gonna
hyped.
do.
It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I really
Part
recommend
You may have
it.
heard of it. And then we're gonna do Worst of Weeb Warning. We're still workshopping the name. Like I said, it was an instantaneous amount of time. We haven't had much.
WW.
WW. Weeb the fuck. WTF.
And what movie is that?
It's called Dark Cat.
Dark Cat.
Oh,
Dark Cat. And we all sat here and watched it together.
Is it
so
plural?
this is very, very. It's just
it
one.
had
It's
to
just
be
Dark
plural.
Cat. It's
There's
just
2 cats.
Dark-
I liked it better if it was
We're
Dark
gonna get into
Cat.
it. We're gonna get into it. But last time we were on
Can
just
you
about
tell
to
I'm a
start
cat by my hair?
talking about part 4 of JoJo.
That's a spoiler. We'll get to it
We'll
later.
get to it.
So part 4.
Yeah.
So part 4 is I just kind of want to dive into this because this is like one of my favorites. If you remember in the last theme song, they sing about 1999.
Yeah.
And that's the year that it takes place. But funnily enough, funnily, is that a
Funnily
word?
enough, yeah.
Funnily enough, in a funny way.
Finally enough.
Funnily
This isn't a
enough.
linguistics podcast.
I don't know if there's an adverb for funny, but they.
Down that funnel we go.
So it came out in 1992. Is my point.
Okay.
So
Oh.
when you were born.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm doxing you right
Yeah.
now.
Thanks. Not everyone knows.
So it came out
His
in
address
1992, but
is-
No. Absolutely not.
so what I'm saying is like whenever you get like these musical references that are usually like around the same time, it's normally about like 10-ish years before the part actually takes place because he's writing these and setting them in the future. So
Right.
like, gosh, what is it called? Then to Areo, Golden Wind, the next part. That like, that one has like, what is it? Notorious B.I.G. in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. So when is that? When is 5 supposed to be taking place? The
Can
one
we
right
hit
now.
4?
No. And 4 is we're skipping over 4 now.
I'm
Just
really
kidding.
concerned that we're gonna go way
Go-
over.
It's only right that a
Part
JoJo
3, here we go.
JoJo as a topic makes us want to go in parts the same way.
We're doing 6 parts.
That's called going full circle, everybody.
So
Take notes.
I think it's 2000 or 2001 that
Okay.
part 5
yeah,
takes
'cause I know
place.
it was
But,
not a lot of time.
but it was actually released in 1996. So
Interesting.
like
The same time as Jurassic Park 2, Lost World.
weird. There's actually
Whoa.
a dinosaur in part 5. No, there's not.
No, there's not.
And he says, "Oh no, you idiots!
But
You were
yes.
cocky. You were arrogant."
So part 4.
Where did
That's
that...
what they say in Jurassic Park
Oh my
about the
god.
I don't
dinosaurs.
recall that.
I don't either.
What movie were you watching? No, part 4 might be my favorite story-wise.
You were arrogant, you idiot.
That's what Jeff Goldblum says.
Of course.
Remember, he says, "You idiots, you were arrogant." That's what he sounds like too.
Arrogant.
All right.
Well, welcome back to the Jurassic Park podcast. Welcome back to the Dino podcast.
I'm actually down.
We're changing the game. We're changing all of this.
This is actually called Dinology.
Dinology. If only there was a word to describe the study of dinosaurs.
Yeah, if only.
If only.
Anyway,
My paleontologist friend the other day was
can't call it
That's
paleontology.
the study of dinosaur bones, isn't it?
Interesting. Wrong again.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so part 4.
Part 4,
It was
beautiful.
it was jarring coming
So you're
from
not-
part 3 because I
Right.
watched all of these straight through basically.
oh yeah, you binged.
I guess it was different for me because I had like a long time period, and I was just
Right,
so
exactly.
happy to see it again.
Exactly.
Wow,
And I'm
yeah.
like, this
I'm
is
really
new and
sure
fresh.
that's what
Wow.
it is.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
felt I couldn't binge after part 3. I couldn't do it.
So basically, in part 3, like they had mentioned in part 1 of our show,
Right.
they were like muted colors in kind of desolate locations, deserty type things. And then part 4 takes place in Morio, Japan.
Right. Which, like, it's been everywhere but Japan so far.
Right. And it's
Right.
like a seaside town, and the colors are popping like crazy.
Yeah.
All the buildings
Very
are
bright,
really
like,
ornate.
pastels.
It's bright,
Yeah.
pastels. Everyone's kind of metro. The faces are rounder, not as jagged.
Have you seen a picture of Manga Josuke?
No.
No.
It is an ugly face.
No
Which
way.
is weird because he's pretty in part 4.
Yeah, I mean he's a good-looking dude.
I would say if you're
that's the kind of
listening
way he's
now-
supposed to be. He's like a good-looking. He's not like ugly. He's not. You can tell
Dude's
when someone.
hot.
He's honestly pretty sexy.
He is a sexy boy.
If you're listening right now, I would recommend look up Josuke Part 4 anime versus manga, and it is like two different people. Like
Weird.
it is a pretty boy, and like there's also these jokes about like Jotaro in Part 4 versus Part 3 looking like similar, but then they showed Josuke, this like night and day.
See,
Why-
that was the most jarring to me is Jotaro's transformation. I
But
was
why
like,
was
what
that?
happened to him?
They take out detail. That's it. They took out a lot of detail of his face and made his gigantic tire shoulders into
Like
more
just
realistic
more
basketball
realistic-
shoulders.
Yeah, because when they slimmed everybody, they slimmed everybody, which is why it was fascinating
Yeah.
that
Marine biology will do that to you, or oceanography.
this is
Whatever
not a
his
this isn't a
career is.
linguistic podcast. Somebody keeps saying that every time we
no.
pronounce something wrong. But yeah, so I don't know. It's not much. I wish I could say more. I don't want to ruin it for you, Ethan. 'Cause I know you're still kind of watching through it right now.
Yeah, we won't.
No, we're not gonna say. But I'm saying.
Like I said, spoilers don't bother me, and we're really close in. Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty far into it.
Okay, because I had mentioned Kira
I have
as
like
a
10
character.
episodes left.
Okay, I mentioned Kira on an earlier episode of this show, and I don't know. I love him as a villain. I love him as a villain.
Kira's one of the best villains I've seen in an anime.
Wow. Okay, that's. I would say. I mean, he was
He's
on my
so
list. So yeah,
likable for being such a psychopath.
because he just wants
Well, I
to
mean,
live
I don't
a
like
normal
just
him
life.
so far.
Yeah.
He wants to do what he wants to do in peace, which is like weird because what he does infringes on the rights of others, right? But you're still like, man,
Infringes how? How? I don't understand.
Wait, I mean, I guess when he cuts people's hands off.
Oh yeah,
and-
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But so he's so comfortable in his psychosis. Like he's
Well,
just.
when you called him chaotic,
I don't even know if he's too methodical for chaos.
No, it's not chaos at all.
I think he is though a little.
I think
bit.
he's neutral.
You called him, I think, chaotic neutral when we had.
Yeah,
our-
actually,
our
I would
fave
say
villain.
I would agree after you say it like that.
'Cause he just
Chaotic
does
neutral.
whatever he wants, no matter what.
Because
Okay,
he doesn't
yeah,
have
that-
an
you're right, you're
alignment
right.
per se. Like,
Right.
it's not like good or evil. He just does what he wants.
Right. His actions are definitely evil, but he's not. And it's funny because many times he laments to himself is, why can't I live just my
Right.
peaceful life? Why
He doesn't
can't I do
understand
this?"
why they're bothering him.
Right. It's like, oh, but me killing women and taking their hands to date the hand is what I want to do. Why don't you let me do it?
Speaking of date the hand, this is kind of an aside, but one of the main characters has a stand called the Hand, and the villain is a guy with a hand fetish. I don't understand how that was never acknowledged.
Right. Because that'd be awesome.
The whole time I'm like, how's this going to connect? Why is he called the Hand?
Right.
No, because he has a hand.
just heavy breathing. Your stand. Just, can I see your stand? Can I see your stand real
Yeah,
quick?
can I see your stand real quick? His
Yeah.
hands are
Can I
big.
date your stand right quick?
But
That's how they resolve everything. Is that he stops killing people because he just lets them date their stand. They've
Right.
been going steady for years now.
But I don't know. I loved Kira, I think that his like little monologue at the beginning is like art.
It's great.
Like there are plenty of people who have like memorized it. Like, my name is Kira Yoshikage. I'm 33 years old. I live in Murayo, Japan. Like, just like this long paragraph, and at the very end, he says like, I just want to live in peace. Although, if I had to fight, I wouldn't lose to anyone. And you're
There
like,
it is.
whoa, who is this?
Well, yeah,
What's
and it had a
going
very
on?
Patrick Bateman vibe to it from American
it
Psycho.
does. Yeah,
that's
it's
what that character reminded me of. That it's like if you gave Patrick Bateman a stand,
right.
that's kind of how this would go down.
So, I mean, I'll try to keep spoilers out of this specifically, but Kira has 3 stages of his stand, just like Koichi does.
Right.
And they're all Queen references. And yet, this dude is the spitting image of David Bowie. Explain.
Wow.
I actually think the Killer Queen thing is related to the band Queen and their song
No,
Killer
it's the
Queen.
Killer Queen song. Right.
Yes.
But
That's
he
100%
looks
what
like
he's saying.
David Bowie is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I just think it's an odd...
Does he really? I didn't really feel
He's
that.
got a David Bowie vibe about him. The slick black
What
blonde hair and
specifically?
His slicked back hair and his facial structure. I mean, and also I think I'm biasing that on the fact that I know that Araki was like an enormous fan of David Bowie.
oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay, so that's probably why he got a little bit of a aesthetically from
Yeah.
that, you know. So I guess it's I wanted to do lightning round, but we didn't have time for part 2. But
I noticed I said that Araki was a fan, as if he's dead. He's not.
he's not.
He
No, yeah,
is.
Rocky's still kicking. He's
He
still
actually
certainly.
decided he hates David Bowie now that he's dead.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he
Turned
still
his
is a
back.
fan. Forget I said that.
But yeah. So if you had to pick a favorite stand or one you'd want,
In what?
favorite stand.
In all of them?
Sure.
That's hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
I guess I would say President Valentine's stand in part 7.
So what? Oh no, you can't.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not
no.
gonna. Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Animated. You have to do animated with it.
Honestly, dude,
How could you
I
not pick Zawurdo?
love Metallica because Zawurdo is OP,
Metallica
man.
was not, dude. I like Metallica.
I love Metallica and Risotto.
being able.
He's the guy I was talking about with the iron taking out of your cells. Like it's such a lame thing to like focus on because like it doesn't make that much sense when
mean
you
he's
really think about
Magneto?
it.
Essentially, he's Magneto. That's his whole shtick.
But he's like less powerful than Magneto because he can't do that with like
He
big
seems like
objects.
he has like no. He has like finer control.
But he does like what Magneto doesn't do is though is like he'll make these little like ninja shurikens and knives and scissors come out of your
'Cause
skin and
he
then go back
uses-
in.
he
It's
uses
really
He
nasty.
totally does that.
right.
What?
I'm telling you, this is a direct ripoff of Magneto.
Which one was first?
Definitely Magneto.
Probably Magneto.
Okay, well,
No,
Araki
but
didn't read
I get what you're
X-Men.
saying. But obviously, it's going to take references for other things of pop culture. That's kind of what we were talking about in our Gateway episode, where you what you
I was
do
actually going
when
to say that he ripped himself off because didn't he already have this?
He had a magnetic character already.
Right,
Yeah.
the girl right with
Yeah.
the hood. I don't remember her name.
I don't know, but she was cool.
But then there's
Right.
also he rips himself off again with Man in the Mirror and Hanged Man.
Oh,
I'm realizing this like now.
There you
He's
go.
had 2 pairs of the same stand.
But I mean,
But Magneto.
now you
Metallica's
got
cooler.
me saying it.
Yeah, now you got me saying it. Metallica's cooler though, I think, than the first girl because Metallica like very directly impacts you and like
Right.
if he Metallica can also cloak himself. Can Magneto
Yeah,
do that?
I never knew that.
I
'cause
didn't get
what-
that either.
Because
He's
what
Omega
the
level.
what is that? What does that have to do with his stand? How does that
It-
work? How does that work in?
I'm sure it has something to do with like refracting light. with
Yeah,
him.
because I
don't
think
know.
he controls something
It's
in the
not
air,
that
or
well
he controls
explained.
like I don't know. It seems
I
so
think it's probably
odd
like
to
an
me.
iron powder that whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But I loved him just because like when I was reading it, I was reading part 5. That was the first time that I was reading JoJo and I was like, oh shoot. Because like he started like suffocating. And I'm like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not fair.
Yeah, right.
Because like you can't breathe without that iron. You know, it's so cool.
I think for me, it'd probably be as someone who likes to draw. It'd be Rowan Stan.
See, Rohan seems like he
It's so broken.
If he gets
That stand
punched,
is
he
so-
loses.
Completely broken.
It's so broken.
but if you like shoot him,
I mean,
he's dead.
right?
Okay,
but
if
he,
you shoot any of these dudes, are dead.
Metallica? No.
Right,
Jotaro?
fair.
No.
Yeah, that's the one guy.
Josuke? No.
so for those who don't know,
Okuyasu? No.
Rowan. His,
What do you mean? Okuyasu would just try to punch the bull.
Just remove it.
Patrick, what does the stand do? What does Rowan stand do? Was it
He can-
Heaven's
okay.
Door or something like that?
Heaven's door.
It's
Yeah.
called Heaven's Door. He kind of opens your face and it
There it
becomes a
is.
book of your life's history and he can write in facts either about you characteristically or that even haven't happened yet. and you have to obey them. So you can write like is a girl, and then you're just a girl from now on.
That's amazing to me. Like
I know it's
like,
OP, but like,
yeah, you
like
know,
is my friend.
yeah.
That's it.
I can do it because I can write my own friends.
You're like fighting someone. You're
Wow.
like
Yeah.
actually thinks Patrick is sick.
Patrick is my boy. He's like,
Right.
dude, bro, what's good? And no, I think it's because like you can teach anybody anything.
Gosh,
You
it'd be
just
so
you just
creepy
know,
with
you just know
Koichi,
Russian
man.
now. Done. That's just part of you're fluent in this language.
I feel like I'm blocked from loving it just because of how creepy it is when he does it with Koichi, and like Koichi's in his house alone. And he like kneels down and opens Koichi's face.
Yeah, it was really creepy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got that
he
vibe
kept-
from
he kept-
Rohan.
He kept doing that because he liked his story, essentially. And
that's
he wanted
right.
he wanted to make it into a manga.
That's
so
right.
That's why he had to keep coming
I
back.
guess that's not that.
in a
It's still
loop.
kind of invasive.
It is pretty invasive.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you talked about how he sees himself as Rohan. Well, you've already mentioned he saw Indiana Jones and then made part 3.
That's
He is Rohan.
Yeah.
Like
So-
straight
right.
up. He saw a story and he's like, I'm gonna make a manga of that.
I actually can do that, but with big men behind my characters beating each other up.
big men.
Because like, well, that's what it is. I mean, like, there's just that bird. That's that has a stand. Like that was wild.
Yeah, the rat with the stand was
The
wild
rat,
too.
the monkey.
Bird
Yeah.
was sick.
The bird was so cool, man.
What's your favorite fight? Your favorite animated fight?
Animated.
Animated
versus
JoJo fight.
Jotaro.
Dude, this is gonna sound weird. I love the White Album fight just because of how it was animated. When I read it, I didn't care.
Interesting.
But the White Album fight, it's voiced by Bakugo, and he's
So
just
good.
mad
Yeah.
about these insignificant petty things that he like gets fixated on, and the whole fight, instead of paying attention to the fight, he's just like screaming to himself about how people, like he screams about how when Shakespeare wrote Merchant in Venice, the fact that they live in Venice, it should have been called A Merchant in Venezia, and he can't get past it. He's like,
yeah.
why do they call it Venice
Why do
if
they
they're
call it
Italian?
Remind me
It's,
what
like,
a
so
stand does
funny.
again? White Album stand. Remind me what that one does again.
So it's
It was named
essentially
something
he can do two things. So
Right.
one is he can super freeze anything that he's touching. So like at one point he's even like touching a highway and it
That's
freezes the cars on it. And it's enough that if someone, so like I think Mista was leaning on one of the windows and his like skin came off because it was frozen.
Yep.
Because he was touching the car. Like it's unreal freezing. But then secondly, he can cover his body in what the stand is, not like the power per se, which is like this full body suit.
Sure.
And it's pretty much impenetrable except for this like one little bit, kind of like Death Star style, where he has to breathe out of.
Oh yeah. That was. I mean, those some of those stands have like some multi-purposes. Some have like one singular purpose.
It's just like this is something that I like focus on, but like the sound design in that fight is unbelievable. There's this
it's
YouTube
great.
channel called JoJo's Sound Design, and I love it.
Whoa.
Because it points out when like the White Album's following this car, if you listen, it sounds like someone ice skating. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I noticed that because I thought that's what he was doing.
He is,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
saying
but-
like what anime I've ever seen where like something as innocuous as this guy like running after a car, like they could have just made like the car noise.
Right.
But instead of it's a car noise, and every once in a while you hear like skid, because
Yeah.
this guy's like ice skating after. It's so beautiful.
And
But then like
that's
the
a good
voice,
fight.
Mista not understanding that bullets ricochet. It's like such a good fight.
That was a good one too, and that was a fresh one. So if you haven't, it's in part 5. And
Yeah, I mean you can just look it up on YouTube. I'm sure.
oh yeah, super good. So and you said you were the Dio.
Yeah, would you say
fight was
Dio's your favorite
yours?
fight?
Your favorite animated?
I guess it's not fair. I would probably say that's my
I
favorite
mean,
fight.
it's a cool ass fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
The
one of
sign, the rotor roller. Come on.
Yes.
The thing with the big ass sword in one of the Egyptian gods, where the sword would take over bodies.
Oh right.
And learn the fighting style, and then the next person that picked it up
Would
it
have
would
access to
basically take that person over and still remember everything. That was a really cool fight too, because I thought Paul Nerif was completely useless for the entire show up to that point when he actually did win and
Yeah.
was starting to understand like how to do things. It seemed like
Right.
like he honestly did nothing until that point, and that
Yeah.
was probably 30 episodes in. So
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
fair.
I wanted him to die over Avdol and Iggy.
Yeah,
Wow.
Paul Nerf was always kind of weirdly invincible. I felt like
I mean, you kind of have to be.
He got wrecked.
No, I mean,
dog.
like,
constantly he was in like super battle.
That's what I'm
damage.
saying. Like he got injured so much that eventually I was gonna be like, oh, he's doing this so that like when he eventually dies, we'll just be like, okay.
So they're just
But then
like,
the Dio fight,
they're
he's there and doesn't die.
letting us down easy.
Joseph dies.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I kind of like that aspect about him because he's just kind of super resilient. I think I've had my favorite fight solely because it shows the absurdities of what stands can really.
You're saying
be.
Dio is?
No.
Sorry.
The pylon or the
pylon
tower,
fight, the one we watched today.
The tower.
That one is amazing.
I love that fight because
It's
the
so
idea,
innocuous and weird.
Yeah, he can't leave it. Anyone is stuck in it is stuck there forever. It shows the stand could be working actively against you as well. Stands very much from that moment on for me. They almost had a mind of their own, and they never were your partner per se. They kind of are just how your power manifests itself.
That one also was like, I feel like very presentation based because if you just read that, it's like a radio tower, but then like there's this ominous vibration noise the whole fight because like you don't even know it yet, but it's because it's like absorbing power, right? And eventually it gets like so loud that you're like, oh my gosh, it's absorbing power. It's
I
so
just
scary.
Love absurdities of stands are like how weird they can get is why I love the show so much is because what's this power gonna be? What's the Snapple fact today?
Right. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Jorno just had one, right? About like how, gosh, I can't remember how a hummingbird's heart beats like every.
Oh yeah, that one's weird.
Nothing to do with anything. And he's just like, I remember this fact.
Oh my gosh. Favorite JoJo of the four that have been.
Joseph.
Not what?
Joseph.
Yeah.
Or Jolene.
Joseph.
Jolene's sick.
Joseph is great.
But you guys don't know Jolene, so whatever.
Jolene. Oh, that's the girl JoJo, yeah.
It's like she's part 6.
Nice. Okay.
I know, very progressive Araki.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's slowly going towards basically the end. It's just gonna be like taking a hard political stance.
I feel like I'm really biased for Jolene though because part 6 takes place in Florida, and it's just good.
That's weird.
It's just America, and I'm very comfortable there.
Okay, there's no weird. Fuck you.
Everything involved is all American. They're like in prison. Oh, that's something that I didn't actually mention. Every part from part 3, so like part 4, part 5, part 6, it all gets like increasingly edgy, which at first I thought I wouldn't like.
Weird.
Do you know what I mean? Because part 4 is delinquents.
Is there any
Right.
lollies?
Obviously not. He's still reading.
I actually don't think there's been a lolly yet.
No, I honestly don't think there has.
I don't think so.
At least not.
Great.
At least
What
not
a
that
pristine
long.
manga.
What was that? Raigu Sugimoto? Rima?
Rama? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't throw a name out.
The dead girl.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the girl in the
ghost
girl in the
girl.
alley. That's like the only thing we get that's close.
I mean, she's not sexualized at all.
Of course.
What do you mean? She was naked in one of the scenes.
Oh. Well, he just blocked it out of his
I
mind.
did block
obviously.
that out 'cause I
You've
like
You've
the
researched
series.
it in his brain.
Anywho, that story was interesting.
yeah.
Hey, it's not done for you yet.
Well, it was one of the
It is weird. Part 4 is weird.
her story about she always had her dog where she put her hands down and it would lick her hand,
Yeah.
and so she felt safe.
Yeah.
That is actually a story that you heard as like a horror story around a campfire.
It's cool.
Right.
But remember that when this was written, that's probably like when that story may have been
But that's what
circulating
I'm
around
wondering.
more.
Was that actually the origination
No.
of that?
Probably not.
Possibly
In the
though. Possibly though.
Early
'Cause,
90s?
again, this is early 90s. It's 92. It's
That's
possible.
true.
If
Because like,
that's
you mean that story
true-
about like she feels like the licking, but then eventually it's a guy licking her hand or something.
Yeah, it was the serial killer.
Yeah. I hate that
I was
story.
gonna make the licking.
Getting goosebumps.
Well, I was creeping out.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
And what is Araki's deal with licking? He always goes,
Yes.
Licking's
There's so
creepy.
many licking
He has,
memes.
so Araki has 2 tropes that I've noticed that are every
Hands.
part. Number 1, I mean, that are specific to him only. Number 1 is licking means that a guy's either bad or you shouldn't like them at first.
Kakyoin.
Yeah, he's just creepy as shit.
You weren't supposed to like Kakyoin during that point because he was being
Yeah.
possessed or something, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
he's
then he
being
gets
possessed.
on the train and he's licking the cherry like
That's one of the greatest
That's
scenes
what-
in
isn't he,
animated
like, possessed
history.
in that
No,
scene?
that was after they beat the possessed version of him, and there's the normal version.
I definitely like,
genuinely
remember
thought
that.
that he was being possessed in that moment because
No.
there's something weird.
No,
there was something
I'm
weird
telling
about
you,
There
it.
was something
1,000,000%.
weird going on, I thought.
We're
Anyway,
gonna-
the second thing is that
we're gonna settle
Araki,
this
if
one
there's a
off mic.
dog, it will die. And it will die horribly.
Oh no!
Remember the dog in part 1 gets incinerated.
Incinerated. There's
Iggy gets blown to bits.
There's that dog or what's that rat
Void.
stand that can turn things into like meat cubes,
yeah.
and that one
Bug
that,
Void.
Dog gets
that dog
cubed.
gets cubed.
Yeah. And whenever there's a dog, it dies. And actually in part 5, there's like this
You think he's
meme
wrestling with
circulating
some
around
trauma?
about like someone in one of the frames, like in the background of a fight, there's a dog, and you're like, missed this one, Araki.
Yeah, you think he had some like dog trauma in his youth, and he's just kind of like
No. I think he loves dogs, and I think that he represents truly evil people as people that kill dogs.
Ah, I see.
Wait,
so
what about the one where
yeah.
he eats the St. Gentleman sandwich? Does Kira kill that one?
Oh,
I don't remember, but I think you
Good
would remember,
memory,
right?
Oh yeah, you did just bench a shit under this, so
I literally saw it this morning.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kira killed the dog during that.
that was probably an off-screen one.
He's just like, come here, dog.
So, final thoughts on JoJo. It's such an expansive story. It's
Oh, wait,
getting weirder by the episode.
My final thought is I didn't
Yeah.
finish my thought. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
The thing about it being increasingly edgy. Part 4 is delinquents,
Okay.
right? Part 5, gangsters.
Part 6.
Part 6, prisoners.
Whoa.
Part 7, cowboys. You know, it's like it's
edgier.
weird.
So
outlaws, may I say.
was
May I
gonna say-
rephrase?
I was gonna
Outlaws.
That's actually super funny you said. It's
I
like
actually
all
implore you to rephrase.
Outlaws.
Yeah, I demanded
then.
of you.
Actually, edit that out.
Yeah. So
Prisoners,
You mean yourself?
outlaws. Yeah, I'm reminding myself. Beep boop.
delinquents, gangsters, prisoners, cowboys.
Cowboys. Hey y'all. Howdy.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. I'm a bad
Go to the
cowboy.
ranch.
Look at all my edge.
I'm a bad.
So if I had a final thought, it would be like I can't defend its integrity as a series because it has the most plot holes ever. But like
Right.
I think that it's just the point of it is it's like iconic, it's aesthetically amazing, and David Production has done a miracle with
Yeah.
making this into an anime. It's
Turning
unreal.
this pile of shit into something.
All right.
Something
I'm just
great.
kidding, I'm
Okay.
kidding.
But I mean-
just mean it's good.
Isn't JoJo as a manga like one sold the most chapters like of all time or well what is that?
Wait, no, I
think
it.
I genuinely
I think
think
it
it
is.
might be
I think
the
it's-
No
most
way, that's true.
highest selling
It's been
manga.
going. No, it has. Let
One
me check.
Oh,
how
Piece.
many-
do it. All right.
25
Robopat.
straight years.
Robopat.
Right,
on
this is 33.
Yeah, you're talking about the number one selling manga for 25
Are we talking about
straight years.
selling or most chapters? I might be lost.
Highest selling.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's
Of
probably
course
right.
Well, you it's
can still look it up.
Probably One Piece.
Second is the Conan detective series.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
that's
true.
thousands. That's unreal.
I'm just saying, I recently looked this up.
Anyway,
But I think it's what you said.
It's on the top 10 list. I know that for sure.
true. Just by longevity's sake, it's
but I
gotta
think
be.
you would be surprised at how many chapters of JoJo there are because there's only 8 parts. But each of those parts is like 200 or something.
I know it's insane how long he's been doing this.
Yeah.
I would say for me, it is obviously a cult classic.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about having watched it, but you're really gonna have to slog part 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I forgot to mention, but like, as big of a fan as I am, I quit during part 3 my first time, and I didn't come back for
Yo,
another
me
year.
too. Because I felt binging it was hard. It was
hard,
rough.
especially after part 1 and 2 are so brief.
Yeah, it just definitely is a change up. Would you say you mentioned it's a cult classic? Would you still believe that, knowing how popular it's gotten now? Is it like mainstream in the culture at this
I
point?
think it's like almost, yeah.
Or do you feel it's not even a cult
I
classic
mean, it's
anymore?
mainstream now, but it couldn't have become that way if it wasn't
It was a
That's
proper,
true.
classic.
proper
That's
cult
true.
Like The
classic,
Room,
yeah.
the movie,
Oh,
garbage,
Yeah.
cult classic. Now it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's still not celebrated for
Or like Donnie
quality,
Darko,
but it-
American Psycho, they all start off as like little,
oh yeah.
memes.
almost
Basically memes.
memey, yeah.
So I would say, I really, really like JoJo because I'm always out there looking for something different. I mean, it's aesthetics of things like Mob Psycho 100 and Devil May Cry Baby are why I watch shows that have a little bit of looser feel because they're different. They're different. They don't look like everything else. JoJo is a story that isn't written like anything else.
Right.
It's so unique. It's
It is
so
really
its
unique.
own thing.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of how much the author's like personal interest obviously bleed through.
Oh
Yeah, that's unreal.
We talked about Fooly Cooley.
Yeah.
Like how he basically was like, I want this band to be my soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's very similar. He's like, I love rock music. Every one of my effing villains is gonna be a rock band.
That's so cool.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm a big fan of him taking his content to that sort of like level. He's like, I love all these things. I'm gonna emulate them or like throw homages to them throughout. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely his love for the things he cares about has to come through in his passions, and anyone who's writing stuff like that's going to be great at doing it.
All right,
Speaking
pitch
of-
us.
Speaking
All
of
right,
great
boys,
shows,
So this is going to be hard because I'm going to pitch and ditch. And
Whoa.
And I know that sounds weird, but I've thought about this a lot since y'all said I could talk about it.
okay,
So Golden Kamui And I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Can you spell it?
Kamuy.
Okay.
No spell golden? I'm just kidding.
Guq. That's it. So I guess it's called Gakemui if you say it in Japanese. Golden Kamui is this show, and it's so number one, animation maybe 9 out of 10, beautiful.
Wow.
Soundtrack is great. The
hoping
OP is breathtakingly good and animated, and it like gets across what the show's about. But it kind of follows this guy. His name is Immortal Sugimoto. And you might be thinking, wow, that sounds boring. He's immortal.
Sounds rad, yeah.
But he's actually...
You may be thinking that's boring.
Like,
That's
no,
rad.
You may
And
be
it
thinking
is.
living forever seems a little dull. No, that sounds rad as
boring.
shit.
And Ricky says, no, wait, I'm already watching
I'm already
Yeah.
in, yeah.
I'm watching on my phone while we're
So
recording.
I guess I would think that's boring because I'm like, oh, he can't die. But Immortal Sugimoto
I get where you're coming from.
And you're
that's-
right, he's terrible.
And you're right. He's immortal. He doesn't die. He's Dio. So he is a soldier that fought in these Japanese wars. I think the time period is, I want to say it's just after World War II, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's just after
Glad you
World
did a
War
lot
I.
of research.
He definitely
I didn't.
He did.
This is my impression of the show.
He's coming up front. No. I didn't do jack.
Look, the time period is they have guns,
Okay.
they have trains, probably don't have planes. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Really kind of locked it in.
So-
Yeah, okay.
Actually,
Probably don't have planes.
so it takes place in like rural-ish Japan. They actually like go a lot of places, but it starts in the winter, and it's this like show about this Immortal Sugimoto and his history of fighting in these Japanese battles. And Immortal Sugimoto is not a nickname he gave himself. It's from his comrades
okay.
because he's gotten so lucky that he's lived through 5 battles. And in that time period, if you live through 3, you're a very lucky man because so many people were getting slaughtered at that time.
So did people think he was lucky? Because like no one really knew he was immortal, right?
He's not immortal.
Oh, so he's
I'm saying
literally-
it's a nickname.
It's just so
because
so the
he hasn't been like killed. He's been shot twice and hasn't died. That's
Interesting.
immortal to them.
So he might be immortal.
He's
More
not
than-
immortal. There's
Well,
no
okay,
magic.
You don't know that.
Listen to me. It's the reason that I like this show is because it's like so grounded in that like if someone gets shot, they don't just say and then they get up and sprint away. You know,
Right.
It's like they're out. They're like, I'm scared I'm gonna get a liver infection and die. And you're like,
Interesting.
oh my gosh, bullets kill people. It's crazy. And
Does fire burn though?
fire burns.
Okay.
Whoa.
I know it's like the most gritty and it sounds weird to say. It's a gritty anime though. It's about
It's slice of life.
it's not.
Yeah, like
slice
how
of
would you
life.
classify
What
it
do
in
you
terms
mean?
of genre?
It's a weird. I want to say educational survival.
is it
like,
like
listen.
Wait, whoa,
Listen to
whoa.
me. Let me
Whoa,
finish.
Educational survival,
no.
Listen to me. I've learned so much from
like a
this show.
nerdy Bear Grylls
Yeah,
style.
I'm not joking.
Man
Listen.
versus Wild,
So
the anime.
this guy, this Immortal Sugimoto, he's abandoned his regiment because he's tired of fighting, and he said, "You know what? You're right. I'm immortal. I don't want to die though, so I'm gonna leave with my legend." And he leaves them like very bad, stranded. He encounters this this girl who is a Ainu, which is our like equivalent of Native American, right? And she is like hunting in the woods, and he's like starving because he doesn't know how to live in the woods. And so like over the course of episodes, it's them kind of getting to know each other and her like helping him survive in like the mountains in the dead of winter in Japan. And it's half like food porn because she like shows him how to prepare animals like from scratch, like step by step. It's like
Whoa.
I'm saying it's like
That's actually pretty
educational.
cool.
And then like
Dr. Stone.
No, it's not Dr. Stone.
and so it's like
he is so singular tunnel vision right now on Dr. Stone.
No,
in
that
terms
just
of hype.
that sounds a lot like
Right,
what
right.
the idea of that show.
and it
is.
might be. I don't know. I haven't seen Dr. Stone yet because that's not out
It's
yet.
not out yet, but
I thought you were a manga guy and you read it already.
I've never. What? I read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's
That's,
really-
one thing.
It's really interesting because like,
Baki.
I read Baki. That's 2 things.
so it's like historical fiction. Is that more like that?
It's. I want to say it's. Okay. Yeah. Historical
That's really
fiction.
kinda what
It sounds like
smells
Last
you know?
Samurai.
Weirdly enough, it almost is a slice of life just because it is just these 2 people surviving together in the mountains until they can reach civilization. So like they have to go like miles. And normally in anime, you're like, well, let's skip to the next scene where they're already there. But like the first 10 episodes are them literally trying to live from one mountain to the next. It's so good. A bear is like hunting them, and he's like bleeding because he almost lost a fight. So it's following them day by day.
And it's an anime bear, so basically he's got like internal monologues. Day 2.
No.
I've been tracking them for 48 hours.
I like honestly can't sell season 1 enough because of the food porn, because of how they show you how to prepare the dishes. They show you like, and like not in a weird like shogugeki food sama, whatever that's called.
Like, people orgasming.
The
on
food
screen
wars.
for food.
It's not actual
the
food.
butter.
It's not like literal food porn, but it is like they show you how to make these dishes, and then they like make them like in excruciating detail.
Food always seems to have that aesthetic in anime.
Oh my gosh, they teach you how to make like traps, and like they show you how you can go wrong, and like I'm assuming they're right. I haven't tried to make these traps, but like I feel like I could give it a shot. It's like so good, and that's my pitch.
Did they teach you how to make dirty balls?
Oh wait, I didn't even say the premise of the freaking show.
That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Like, that's so like, yeah, you're trying to.
So this is the
not
episode.
A good pitch. Sorry.
The overarching story is really interesting because it's have you guys ever seen Prison Break?
Yes.
Guy tattoos a map on his back. Right. So imagine if you didn't want to be that guy, but you had a lot of underlings. What would you do?
Tattoo it on their back.
They find out that there's this guy who has this enormous stash of gold, like kilograms and kilograms and kilograms of gold. And they find out that he was also in this prison for 20 years with his fellow inmates who were also there during the war.
Okay.
And those inmates that came out have these weird tattoos. And they find out if you skin the people and put their skins down like on a plane, that it'll form a map. Whoa. But that you can't line them up. You have to like literally kill them to do this.
Right. You actually. Wow. So basically, was that his plan the whole time?
Yes, because he didn't want to share it, but he didn't tell them
cool.
that. It's so
That's
cool.
That's insane.
And so this guy, Immortal Sugimoto, his friend has one of those tattoos, and he doesn't know what it is.
So essentially,
you have to skin them.
Well, what is the point of putting the map on there if he knows where his own gold is and he doesn't want to give it to anyone?
Because it's been, number one, 30 years, and number two, because he wants his people to be able to find it and bring it to him. He's stuck in prison still. He can't get out, but all the other inmates have been released.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that part. It's very interesting.
Wait, they want him to bring gold to prison.
If he look, man, I don't.
Yeah.
Look, it's cool. That's it.
It's bail. It's bail. It's essentially bail that he spent.
I'm sure they
30
explain
years.
it better than I am.
I'm just saying. You said he doesn't want anyone else to have it.
Correct.
But then he's stuck in prison.
He is.
So he wants someone to bring him gold in prison.
I guess I don't remember, man. I think he's like planning to break out. He hasn't done it yet. If he's
Okay,
planning
got
to.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
Cool.
No,
And then he'll probably kill the people that bring it to him. Whatever.
That's why I think you just hooked me there with that description. Like he had it in his brain that he was gonna kill these people at some
from
point.
the start.
Right.
It's so
from
cool.
30 years ago.
And so these people are like fiercely loyal to him because they don't know that.
Right.
But they're still like walking
that
around.
makes it a
Japan.
very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Is that we have the best leader, and he's like,
Yes.
guess what I did?
Yeah, they're so loyal because they've been promised a chunk, like 1/20th of this gold.
Because you're holding 1/20th of the answer.
Yeah,
So it's cool.
So I don't want it to go on too long, but
Right.
His friend had one of the tattoos.
his friend has one of the tattoos, and that's like kind of the premise. I don't want to spoil it from there, just because like it's so interesting. The voice acting is incredible. One of the voice actors is like this. If you watch it, it's this guy with like kind of flat looking eyes. I can't reproduce his voice. It's so good.
So it's a you're saying quality dub, or are you talking
Sub
about the subs?
only, I
the sub
think.
only. Okay.
So here's the ditch part. The ditch part is where we get to season 2, and I don't know what happened. Maybe the director changed. Animation studio is the same. Maybe the mangaka
interesting.
just decided I don't care anymore because it changes from this like extraordinarily realistic, dire, detailed, cool, fun to follow show into this silly, I want to say hacky drama.
Weird.
There's this one scene that I think I might have texted y'all about where there's this guy preparing to betray the Ainu girl, and then they have dinner with 10 of their friends, and it zooms out, and they've reproduced Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you did send us about that.
I want you, so if you're listening, look up Golden Kamui Last Supper. It's the most bizarre image in the world, and you'll find it's the first result.
Didn't that make you like stop altogether?
I've stopped since then, but it was my first
Wow.
hint that like something's changed.
Okay.
So then this new guy comes in.
Something doesn't smell right here.
There's this bad guy who got the front of his head blown off.
Something ain't right.
Something right here.
There's this guy who got the front of his head blown off, and they argue that like he only lost his frontal lobe, And they say that's
what?
where you keep your compassion for other people. So now he's just like really mean. And you're
Go
like,
blow it out your
I
ass.
don't
Oh my
know
gosh.
about that.
That's dumb.
It gets every episode something weird happens.
So let me ask you: did they complete season 1?
Season 1 has, I think, a satisfying ending. Obviously, they don't like get the gold and stuff, but but I'm saying like it's the end of an act.
Patrick.
It's the end of an act, though.
Right. Okay. So there's a sense of finality at least at
But, like,
some point.
I was
Is
so
there a
hyped for
through
season
line
2 to come
season
out.
2?
Do they get to
They're
the
very
basement?
clearly defined. They're not like different shows.
Does he become Hokage? Do
Yeah.
they get to the basement?
Yes.
Do they save?
They got to the
Rubio?
basement. They found the key. They undid the code from Isabel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So that's it. I would say check out the first season. It's a work of art.
Okay.
I would
Oh,
also
yes.
say give 2 a try. 24, I think.
24.
Where'd you watch it?
I downloaded it from Horrible Subs.
Okay, good to know.
So nefarious websites, awesome.
It's
Sail
not
the high
illegal.
seas of piracy.
Horrible Subs is a very thriving. It's fan subs. It's not owned by anybody.
All right, but that's okay.
I'm just saying it's not on Amazon or Hulu or whatever.
It probably is. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Go look it up. We're streaming
Look it
as
up.
had.
It's
If
definitely
not,
on Crunchyroll because that's where I originally watched it, but then I lost my Crunchyroll premium. So
So
Crunchyroll,
Crunchyroll,
if you're listening.
sponsor us,
Yeah, if
so
you're-
we can watch it legally.
Yay!
Perfect.
This video is not, or this podcast is not sponsored by anybody.
could be though.
Brought to you by RoboPet. Beep boop. He's got the scoop. All right.
So what happened about like this like shadowy feline that you were talking about?
Oh, also known as Dark Cat. All right. So
Which is a better sound effect, by the way, than any sound effect. in
yeah.
that
So how
show.
the hell did this even come to be? This Dark Cat was made in 1991, and what was weird was I tried to look.
So it
and
predates you, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, it predates us all, I'd say.
Interesting.
So what's weird here is under studios on every site I saw, it said unknown. So this just came out of the
Wow.
woodwork.
I think the weirder part is this is actually directed by James Cameron.
Oh, is it Jimmy C? Is
Yeah.
it
It
was
Jimmy
his first-
Cams?
It was James Cameron.
First animated film.
Yeah,
And actually, the English dub had Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Da Vinci, not DiCaprio. That
No,
was
and
not,
but-
DiCaprio.
that was
That's
not a
the weird
mispronunciation.
part.
Leave it to
Okay.
Jimmy Cams to get one of the most famous men in history
Yeah.
to voice
It was
in a
actually
trash
if
OVA.
anyone could, it
So-
would be Jimmy
They were
C.
actually the two cats, and then the females.
Who played the main girl?
Okay, so
Anne Hathaway,
That was her, wasn't it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the other one was Lauren Bacall.
They
Who
actually-
played the big demon guy?
Danny DeVito?
I don't
Are you sure?
I remember it being Danny
Yeah,
DeVito.
Danny DeVito's got an iconic
I thought it was
voice,
the
I'm pretty sure.
Mountain.
The Mountain?
He must have a pretty big range.
Oh, that,
Thor.
that explains the complete lack of English. in
yeah,
this
he's
thing.
like,
But okay, let's get into like 3.5 out of 10 on my anime list. It's
I
got
don't
like
think
a
it deserves that.
I
think it's a 5.
That's too much.
A 5.
I think it deserves more. It was entertaining. We had a good time.
So super light plot. Can we try to give
I
it to
honestly don't think it deserves a 5.
No,
Okay. Look, we'll rate it later.
It was trash.
The plot was what? There's like
So
Does he
essentially the hentai plague
cats?
is ravishing a town.
no, it's not.
Sorry, tentacle.
No, start off with the very beginning.
Okay.
Wait, let's
No,
try
no.
should we present it the way that we know it to be now, or should we present it the way they presented it?
I don't even think we could properly do what they did because that was like monkeys in a room.
So
with
definitely the way we know it to be
typewriter
now.
style.
So if someone has evil in their heart, demons come out of them.
essentially, and it's a plague
Yeah.
caused by this demon man,
Principal.
cat man,
Principal Doctor.
Demon
yeah,
cat.
and
Yes.
it starts out with
Principal Dr. Cat.
That's
Principal
right.
Doctor Cat. It
Did he have a
starts
name?
out with dude, people
Yeah.
are disappearing.
Jukon
People
Teto.
were
Right.
people were
Conteto.
disappearing, and they never explain why.
So in the beginning of the movie, people are vanishing, and about 10 minutes in the movie, people stop vanishing, and it's
Yeah,
never explained.
all that's left is a shoe.
Yes,
And
There's
a
a crater
and a
and a
crater.
shoe every time.
Oh yeah,
And
cratered.
it's actually pretty eerie because there's this one. I'm not even joking. This one scene with the cross country girls that were running.
Yeah.
That was
and one of
pretty
them just vanishes. Boop. That actually kind
That
of
was
got
cool.
me
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we might
because
be for
they're
a ride.
running. Of course, they wouldn't notice, and she's in the back.
And then you're introduced to Hoy and Roy. Is that how you say it?
Hoi, I think it was Hioi and Ryoi. I don't remember.
So Hioi, Black Cat, he was a gross looking person. Like
if
Well, I
if you
think
could make
it's-
a hairstyle look like an entire cat,
they both
that's
had,
what it was.
yeah.
Because Hioi, or at least the black hair guy,
Yeah.
he had 2 cat ears, and a cat tail in
Yes.
his hair.
And his eyes looked like cat eyes.
And it-
constantly.
you
that
can
girl
tell
said,
whoever-
"Wow, you have weird eyes."
Oh my god! And then the other guy was.
Oh, how about the color shifting eyes from that black cat?
Oh yeah,
That
they
was a bad
couldn't
mistake.
they couldn't make up their mind about
That was
what
a bad
Huey's
mistake.
eyes
It
were.
went
So it
from
was
blue
green
to
and
green.
blue, and sometimes blue again and green, and they
Yep.
couldn't decide. So we have these two cat boys, and what's their mission initially?
Great question.
It's
Initially, it was
Hey, great
freeing that
question,
girl's
Rick.
soul.
So the first girl, I'm pretty sure, is the one that was causing people to vanish.
I think so too,
Pop,
because
pop, pop.
whenever someone vanished, she got a new ant in her jar.
Right.
Now, that wasn't
Oh.
clearly
she was in
explained.
denial
That
about.
wasn't. None of this was clearly explained.
I'm saying, but I think that's the
So she
connection.
was
we
in
made.
denial about having been killed or
Right.
dying due to her sickness. Black Cat was there to try to help her usher herself to the other side without going demon form.
Okay.
So
She kind of did for a second.
she
really
goes
did.
demon. He tells her, "Believe in my power," and she does.
That was bizarre.
yeah.
He didn't even say like, "I believe in you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No. Believe in me.
He just
She,
said,
like,
"I could beat you
ascends
up
to
right
heaven.
now."
Like Gurren Lagann did it better. Believe in the me that believes in you.
Gosh, talking to
Boo.
break my heart.
I know, right? So
Hate it.
Oh
Okay,
no.
we could argue about that for 2
anyway.
hours.
So
So
let's-
wait. He
Yeah.
goes cat mode and saves her.
Oh, we
Yeah.
didn't mention
then
these,
he-
these two spirit hunters can transform into cats at will.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're cat
dark
boys.
cats.
They're cat
I
boys.
don't think we explained that.
Oh, we're gonna get into the power set of cats. in a
Okay,
second.
sorry,
No,
sorry,
you're good,
sorry.
you're good.
But then our next kind of plot point is his little brother cat, who's white and like
Who didn't have to be in the
orange.
movie, by the way. I don't think he did anything.
Well, so he's
No, yeah.
actually watching guard over this other sick girl who I have a feeling potentially could have died and become a demon like that one did.
I got what you're saying.
That's what I'm kind of thinking
Is
the
that
through
why
line
he was
was
there?
Yeah, so I think that whole intro bit was to tell us their typical day job is like kind of being spirit guides.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering why don't you know what happened in this movie, you just watched it. All three of you.
Right.
Then I agree with you. The movie
Yeah.
was very interesting in that it would present things in a unique way. It was as if they had already told you something and they were reminding
Yes.
you.
right.
They're
There
like,
weren't
oh yeah, you know all that shit we talked about
was
in the
very-
last series?
It was honestly like uncanny how many times I thought, did they tell us that?
there were
Like,
there
it
were
sounds
no
like we're supposed to know
beats.
that.
There are no plot beats.
Yeah,
it's just things
there's
just
never
like
anything
happened in a
fully
string,
established.
and there is a lot of assumption that needed to.
Right.
There were some visual cues. If your hair looked like a cat,
You're probably a cat.
you're
You're a
probably
cat
a cat.
boy.
You're a
Literally
cat.
everyone who had pointy hair was a
Someone went
cat.
through great lengths to make certain people that could transform into cats a very weird haircut with like almost faux feline ears in them.
And before we start, would you mind if I talk about my favorite scene? The flying cat at the end?
You may.
That was unreal. That was like the best part of the movie.
So yeah, so the
That cat was so cool.
the big one.
Yeah.
That one looked like basically if you took a
It was like Studio Ghibli if it was mean.
So
Yeah.
the big bad Junkoto.
Junkotibo, I don't know.
His
Junko
cat form is like gigantic flying tiger.
it looks like
He has three forms for
In-
some reason.
In all honesty, it looked like you had a manga artist say, draw the Siamese, the cat from Alice in Wonderland. The purple
Oh
one.
yeah, he did kind of look Cheshire-y.
Yeah, the Cheshire Cat. And basically, you do your best to depict this. And he's like, all right, and then made that. So I think that was the
okay.
only redeeming quality was that character design. Speaking of these cat demons, what are their power set? Let's go through them, shall
Turn to
we?
cats.
So what I managed to get down is mental suggestion and/or hypnosis. So you can kind of like hypnotize people and suggest.
They
They
do
can
that
compulse
one
people
time.
like vampires.
Yes,
And it doesn't work.
Right, and it doesn't. Yeah, well, the only time we saw it
So,
attempted,
what
it
doesn't
didn't
have to
work.
be there?
It didn't work. Agility. I'm just calling like cat-like reflexes.
Extraordinarily fast.
Clearly light speed.
Yeah,
Actually
there
light
were
speed.
Reality warpers.
there was light speed feats in here. Like they
Yes.
actually did work. Teleportation. Hovering.
They could fly.
They could
Yeah.
fly, but also
Depending
hover.
on what was
How about
happening.
ESP?
They could telepathically communicate.
Constantly.
Oh yeah. So ESP. They also they could teleport the cat sword.
So there's a cat sword in the movie that to me looks like a lightsaber,
It's essentially just a glowing
but
sword.
it's this
it's-
necklace that when he wills it, it can turn into this sword that beats anything.
Wow, I know. I don't.
I don't know why they didn't use it.
So I guess the like overarching plot was these two cat boys.
Yeah.
Used to be dark boys.
Yes.
Dark cat boys.
They were trained by the evil bad guy.
right.
Who is
And
also
then
a dark cat
they
boy himself.
basically
Correct.
betrayed him to try to propagate more love and purity.
Love.
And so their kind of self-given job was to go around and try to make sure that all these people don't turn into demons. So there's this plague throughout the show, and
Oh, the
they're
hentai
going
plague,
around
yeah.
trying to stop it.
Yeah. literally the first time we see this, it looks like
Wait, guys, is that all the story was?
Dude,
What?
I'm
That
saying
literally might have been it.
we actually gave it a lot more.
We
I
did.
think if you just said the plot, it could be like 4 sentences.
we're trying to flesh out something that is not really there. Like it was.
This is like connecting the dots.
I'm a little worried about Jimmy Cams, guys.
This is
Yeah, he's really kind of no wonder this one got buried and is on YouTube for free.
For reference, this work of Jimmy Cameron is almost an hour long, and we described the whole plot in maybe 2 minutes.
And
Tops.
dude, it felt like 3 hours. Like watching
It was
that
actually pretty long.
It felt insane. So
Also, how did he get Leonardo da Vinci in this effing show?
oh, dude, it's Jimmy Cams. He's got
Mad
Hollywood.
Connect.
So what part did you like? I know that we can
cat fight
say it's
at the
bad
end.
all the time, but like, what did you like? Because
Um,
I loved that cross country scene,
That
and I
was dope.
liked the cat fight at the end.
Actually, if the whole movie was about people vanishing and
That'd
them
be-
trying to
they
figure
did
out
that
what's
super
going
well.
on,
That'd be
I would've been
interesting.
down.
It was like eerie because they would take a shot of this group of people, and then the camera would violently switch, and someone was gone. It was so cool.
So I think for me, if I had to give it something, is that you could tell that a lot of work went into the animation of the plague.
Yeah.
that
True.
was a
It was
lot.
very
It was
accurate.
very
Very
gorish. It was
detailed.
very like Lovecraftian body horror. Essentially, what is this plague? It's like tentacles. Essentially,
It's like
like
just
the
a
first
mass
time,
of meat.
The
I
first
don't
time we
know.
see it, it's aggressively phallic. Like it looks like a
I would say
dick.
almost exclusively.
Yeah, it looks like a dick coming out of the first victim's mouth. Like,
Was she a victim? Was she just a mean teacher?
I don't know.
Because
what
she
happened,
hypnotized the
guys.
cat.
oh, so you know what? So that was. Let's
Guys,
talk
I
about-
gotta level with you.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. the whole movie made
So
no
let's talk about
sense.
this right quick. So basically, the entire
Bad
plot
OVA,
is
bad you.
You had such gravity with that expression.
you let me level with you. Cards on the table. I'm lost.
Right.
So plague is there. Big Daddy Demon, Principal Daddy Cat is causing it, and it's up to the two cats.
Principal Daddy Cat.
Principal Daddy Cat, and the two catty boys are responsible for trying to stop it. That's really the whole shtick. And
there was not a single sound effect.
no. So
There
there's the
were
one thing.
3. I counted them.
So we counted. There's 3 sound effects in the entire thing. The rest of it is like offensive silence and just and
I would say
bad dubbing.
very unassuming background music.
Yeah.
like almost a
So,
synthesizer.
Abusive.
I've been thinking about that. I think what it was, that dub was so bad because they literally just turned down the sound
That may
and
be
literally just let the
Maybe.
voice rip over top of it. Did we watch an official dub? It
has
almost
to
didn't
be.
it was,
feel
it
official.
was on
right?
YouTube, y'all.
It has
so
I
who
don't
knows?
know.
We watched it on YouTube. Full
And,
disclosure.
I mean, DiCaprio was in it. Da Vinci.
I thought,
mean,
yeah. How could that be a fan dub
That's
if
what I'm saying.
DiCaprio's in
Oh my
it? And
God.
Da Vinci of all people.
So
And
whoever,
Anne Hathaway, do you think she gets out of bed for less than 1.5 mil?
I was just about to say 1.5 mil. So I think
she
that's
doesn't
true.
brush her teeth unless it's for a cool 500K.
Because I don't. To get back to the sound effects, I don't know if y'all have ever seen a movie without sound effects, but it's weirdly empty. It sounds
Right.
It felt like
abrasive.
No, there was that
lonely.
one scene. No, seriously, that one scene where there's just like kids just walking to school. There should be like the rustling and
It was-
footsteps.
it was
and
raining as
just-
well.
It was like 15 seconds of just pure
Literally
silence.
Or,
And
or like when that guy jumps through the window and he hits the ground with a crash, but there's no crash or window break.
I think
It's
what
just
hit-
he moves through it.
I think what hit me so hard is with that. Remember how it was just that silent, and then the girl walked by and laughed. So all you heard
Yeah.
was,
Oh right.
and that's all you get for like 15
Now maybe in the
minutes.
sub there are sound effects.
It was literally nuts.
It was
y'all.
horrifying. Can we talk about the teachers real quick?
I just want to know why everyone
Teacher
could
was hot.
teleport.
No.
She was hot.
Oh my god. So yeah, so there was a scene. All the teachers in this show
Are dick bags.
Are dick bags.
Every
Like
one
evil.
of them.
One of them is literally making fun of a kid because he's depressed and dumb.
Yeah.
Wait,
One
so this
That was
I want
Kevin
to put this in
Hart.
frame. This kid, he asks him to come up to the board and he says, "Why can't you come up?" And he says, "I haven't slept in about 5 days, and I'm sorry, I'm just really depressed." And the teacher says,
Kevin Hart was like,
"He was he played by Kevin Hart?"
it sounded like
I
Kevin
think
Hart.
that
No,
might have
that was
been
pretty
him.
good.
They can
And
find
he
him,
says,
yeah.
"Get up there, stupid," or something. It was so funny. Oh yeah, he says like, "Yeah, okay, really?" It was so funny. And then the kid gets bullied for being ADHD and depressed.
Yeah, the PC or the lack thereof in this particular work dials it in almost perfectly to 1991. Like they were throwing out, slurs you would not be throwing out nowadays. And I mean,
Disagree.
Depends on your circle of friends, I guess.
I guess so. Well, nothing I'd put on a podcast.
Okay, well, I just don't think that jerk is a slur.
It's not the one I was going for.
Oh,
but-
interesting. What were you thinking?
Yeah. It rhymes with
Y'all didn't see Patrick's face, but it was funny.
That was really smug.
Thank
You're
you.
just waiting for me to
Oh,
drop
really?
a bomb.
Very inquisitive.
Oh no, let me know.
was my expression.
What's in there?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me, it's okay. We can do
That's crazy. I must have missed that part. What was it?
Yeah, no worries, no big deal.
What was that homophobic part that you're talking about?
The whole thing, it felt like a table read. It felt like people around a table, like was reading out of a script.
I would agree, except for the depressed kid. I actually thought that he was good.
He,
I think he really sounded depressed and tired, but
I'm
maybe that
depressed.
wasn't on purpose. I don't know.
he never, even when he was screaming,
Who's the actor for that?
Kevin Hart, you just said.
No.
like Kevin Hart was the
He was
teacher.
the teacher.
His
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That sounded a lot.
LeBron James.
That sounded like De Niro a little
I
bit.
no, De Niro was. You're thinking of LeBron James.
I think he was. Was
I
he
thought
the other
De
kid?
Niro was the big bad
Big
Yeah.
Dad Cat?
principal.
Yeah.
No, that was
Cat.
He said,
DeVito. We just said
"Meh."
that.
Sorry, DeVito.
DeVito.
Gosh, all their
DeVito- yeah,
names are
DeVito
starting to run
was-
together.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is hard.
Gil-
Star-studded casts are always hard to
It
parse.
was honestly unreal. It was like awesome. It was Oscar season.
Austin
You know what?
Powers.
I can't even. I'm breaking this facade.
Wait,
That
it was Mike Myers. That's who the kid was.
This
He
was
was both of
This
them.
was the worst
Both the
dub
cats.
I have ever heard in my entire life. It was.
Have
How can you say that to
offensive.
DiCaprio?
Oh my god.
That's insulting to Da Vinci.
They
at the
all
very
phoned
least.
it in. They
Wait,
all.
have
Oh,
you-
it was Anne Hathaway at the 2008
They all phoned it in.
VMAs. Not
I don't know about the
style.
worst one.
style.
It wasn't very impressive.
No.
The girl who was supposed to be like 14, she sounded maybe 45.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
played by Meryl Streep.
Honestly, her range is a little bigger than that, I thought.
But yes, the
But I
other
guess I was wrong.
The other teacher, like these two girls were sweeping up leaves
Oh, yeah.
outside.
What the hell?
And they had to and she was going to take
That
it
may
to
just be a Japanese thing.
It might be. Take it
Who
to a
sweeps
bin.
grass?
Yeah.
They were sweeping up leaves into like a little, what is that broom bucket called? I don't know.
A duster? Like a dust?
Is it a
dust?
Dustbin.
Dustbin,
No, some
sure.
whatever it's called.
Sure, let's call
It's
it
called a
that.
pan. I don't know. But
Dustpan.
Dustpan.
That's
There is.
it.
Nice.
They were sweeping up to that and they were throwing it in a garbage can, and I
can't-
just couldn't comprehend why they're throwing
You
flowers
can't see
in the
it, but
garbage.
I'm holding up my PhD in Weebology right now, so earned it. No, so basically, the teacher and her bump into each other, and she falls over, and all her leaves go everywhere tragically.
leaves fall
Her
on the
leaves-
ground. Oh,
and then-
no.
Oh no!
What would you do in a situation you just ran into a child? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Or hey, at the very least, watch where you're going.
Watch where you're going is like the worst. Yeah,
What actually happened was
not a joke.
not a joke. She looks down and the little girl's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry, teacher." And she's like, "Now look what you did. You made a big, big mess." And then makes her go on her hands and knees, holding her hand
Physically
down,
forces her down.
physically forcing this girl to pick up the leaves with her hand. Because was she? I guess she's possessed at this point, or is she a dick bag?
May I quote? No, with your hands.
Yes.
And she
And
forces
she fucking
her
forces
down.
her.
No, she goes, I dropped my broom. And she goes, I don't care. Do it with your hands.
Do it with your hands. And then it got
Cat
really.
boy
She was
jumps
very.
out of the bushes.
Transforms in front of
and
both of them.
punches her.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I like how he was.
And he goes, what the hell, man?
He transformed naked first,
You
and then his
bitch.
clothes
He
phased
literally
on.
says
Yeah.
bitch.
So that was like a little aside. Is
Dave Franco,
the transformations were all weird. I think we said Da Vinci was playing Hioe or
Oh,
Rioe.
you're right.
Right.
Gosh.
What was fascinating?
There was a lot of characters.
DeFranco was the forest spirit. I think.
Ah, there we go.
I hate this.
The
Not
girl.
DeFranco. James Franco.
This actually makes the dub sound good, and I need
is good.
everyone at home listening. It was awful.
Check it out. I've never heard James Franco have a more, I want to say, I'm sorry,
Feminine?
solemn role.
I'm gonna drop kick you over this.
He really,
Da
I felt the
Vinci's-
forest spirit.
Dramatic gravitas,
The gravitas,
was
yeah.
unbelievable.
It passed through the TV into my heart.
It's like you wouldn't have expected this guy to have died in the 1500s.
You're right. I wouldn't have because he was
Jimmy
speaking
Cam's
to
pull
me.
strings. What
What
can
can I say? Money does wonders. You
Money
saw
buys
Tupac?
all.
Did you see Tupac at Coachella? I did.
and
I heard Da Vinci on that screen.
So, who was your favorite cat?
I want to say the white cat just because I
Me
hated
too.
the black cat so
the white
much.
cat was my favorite because we all thought that there's like this really sweet voice, and we looked at it, and this is an ugly cat.
Oh, not that cat.
Oh,
I
which
meant
cat
the-
were you talking
the
about?
Oh
calico.
no, I
the-
meant like the brother cat.
Yeah,
that's
me
white.
too. The calico
but he's like
white.
the tabby cat.
Yeah,
Kinda.
the black cat seemed really annoying to me. He was so condescending constantly. Like he acted as if he was Ichigo, but he was like supremely weak.
He was too catty.
Oh yeah.
He got slashed in the back.
No, hold on
Oh
a
wait,
second.
let's talk about that.
I need you to hold on. Ethan just
Let's
dropped
let-
a hard bomb.
Let's let Ricky
Fucking
finish
cat.
You could
about
also teleport,
the female
which was a
teacher.
pain
What
in the
happens
ass.
next?
Oh, the female teacher. Oh.
She asks the brother to come after school, which he has no obligation to do because he doesn't go to school there.
Yeah, so
But-
so that was the most weird thing to me too, is that these catty boys like seem to be going to that school.
How
for
dare
what,
you steal that?
For what fun? No, yeah, for what boy?
The bomb.
The bomb. Catty boys.
Not bomb
Well, I've
now.
been calling them catty boys all
How
day.
dare you
No,
call me out and
how
then
dare
steal
you.
that?
That's what I'm saying. It's
Outrageous.
unreal.
It's a public shaming.
At least it's
video.
recorded.
This is a disaster.
This is a disaster. I was gonna give you that attaboys. That's a good one.
Stop the podcast.
but,
I'm deleting this whole thing.
Delete the podcast off of iTunes.
Why are these two boys at the school at all? Why are
My
they there?
I think
impression
they're
is that-
watching over the chick.
I
My
think
impression
they're
is that
trying
they
to-
knew that they said, so actually they did say this part. They said they felt a strong
Ooh,
evil
true.
presence from the
Okay.
school.
Okay.
And that they just hang out there and happen to talk to hot girls while they're there.
That is what it felt like, right? Is that they're going fishing essentially?
They were
like, they're
hella
trying
fishing.
to pick up a chick.
Here's my problem.
He has to walk
second
that girl
period.
home.
First
Remember?
of all,
Right. I don't
this
know.
movie problematic. Second of all,
Problematic. The whole thing is problematic.
how did the one brother, the black brother, black-haired brother, just
Yeah.
to be fair,
The guy with the cat literally on his head.
Yes.
Da Vinci? No, that was the other one,
Correct. Yeah, that's DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
This ruse must end.
I don't understand
not.
how he was part of the class. Like he signed up for classes.
So I
And
think
he
he
was in
manipulated them
class.
off screen.
Yeah,
Compelled,
because they
compelled.
make a hypnosis.
Remember,
like,
he has this like green eye power that like if he looks in your eyes and he says something, you have to believe him. But it never successfully happens, so you can't really tell.
It
if
only-
on
it's-
screen.
It was
On
only
screen.
It was only attempted once because the female teacher told Ravioli, I'm gonna call him Ravioli, asked Ravioli to come back
Da Vinci.
after school. Da Vinci, yeah, and
Yeah,
he
correct.
basically she says, I can't find you on the roster, and he tries to hypnotize her and say that I am
right
on
off
the
the
roster.
bat,
I am on the
It's-
roster.
So like it would be cool if that was on screen though, that like we've seen him do it before, and we're like, oh, just
and now
hypnotize
it
her.
fails. Yeah, that'd have been.
It makes
again,
me think a lot was cut
And then
It also didn't make sense because they never explained they could compel people.
until he
Right,
does it.
until he just does
and
it.
fails, and then she compels him.
right. So then she starts undressing herself.
And
with-
her eyes glow.
Her eyes glow, and then you see just this horrifying,
thing come out of her
Lovecraftian
mouth.
penis come out of her mouth, and
It's about to get him too.
Black Caddy Boy comes in and saves him.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
Thank
when
God
she
for
decides
DiCaprio.
all bets are off. I'm running to the principal.
yep, Principal Daddy Cat.
And
So-
principal, by the way, is a doctor, and you will call him as such.
Yeah, he has got his white jacket on.
He's the only principal I've ever seen wearing a white coat. It makes no
QED,
sense.
the man is a doctorate. So,
Yeah. Doctor, principal, dad, cat.
my favorite cat definitely was the floaty cat. Floaty
the
white
white
cat.
one?
Floaty white cat.
Yeah.
in the forest.
In the forest, they
So-
stick
Who
the
only is in the forest.
right. There's no explanation. They just
Correct.
Never comes out. Actually, I think the most galling portion of this whole thing. So, at one point, Black Cat gets injured, and he goes to the forest and gets absorbed into a tree to heal.
Well, to be
Tree
clear,
vagina.
this happens in the next
tree-
fight. They go to the principal. Principal slashes the dude twice. Black Cat pulls out a sword. Principal surrenders.
Yeah. He's like, oh,
Oh yeah.
you
So
win.
that's the thing.
Surrenders.
That gave that sword so much gravitas. Like there's that sword now has weight
Yes.
because
They're
it
saying
made-
this thing is OP.
Right.
Remember this. So then they go to the forest.
Yes, and they
And-
meet Floaty Cat. They meet white, ugly Floaty Cat.
Yeah.
And she is just hovering there, which
Which,
again,
by the way, ugliest face I've ever
ugliest,
seen.
It was a
ugliest
bad
cat
face,
face. They
yeah.
stick the boy, black cat boy, into a tree
tree.
vagina.
This is
and
where it
then
gets weird.
He slowly, like
Like-
on a conveyor belt.
It's actually a tree
Like
stone.
Homer in the leaves.
that meme. He just
It
yeah,
was like
when he
that.
just slides back in.
Imagine instead of a hedge, it was a woman. That
Yeah.
was
Except those are
large
trees.
and
So
made of trees.
We got this weird, trippy, abstract scene of him naked in the void of green.
Right, but
and-
then the galling part.
okay,
Oh,
Other
what's the
brother
calling
is
part?
at school,
right.
Oh, he gives him the
and
necklace.
he's already there. No.
Oh yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
just
yeah.
already
you mean
is
after
there.
he's
Time
healed?
passes.
Yes, he
So-
is
so-
already there.
So you might be thinking, Ethan, you skipped a lot.
No,
No,
I didn't.
Wrong.
There's
This
nothing
guy,
there.
One
they
scene
make
to
it
the
so
next.
clear that this guy's like gravely injured.
It gen-
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
brother is like nervously waiting outside the tree for him to be healed. And the next
This is
scene, they're-
Anime Wars to the a bajillion.
the
no, sorry,
next
Psychic
scene is
Wars
a
to
filler
the
episode
billionth.
where they're both fine.
So I think that like if we're talking about that actual those beats right there, it is he goes into the tree vagina. There's a trippy scene with Mother Nature herself, and her fingers become branches, and
then the kid
envelop
fights a
him-
demon on his own.
envelops him very comfortably, I guess, and he looks pretty chill. So he's like, "This is pretty sweet."
loving it, yes.
And then the tabby cat boy is in the park having a think sesh, and then boom, they're both at school.
No, I think he does fight a demon.
He was attacked by the bullies.
That's right. The bullies
Okay.
come while he's sad about his brother. They
Right.
turn into big.
He's at the swing
Oh
set.
nasty
yeah.
thing.
Okay, yeah.
Sword teleports to hand.
Correct.
Kills instantly.
Instantly.
Then goes to school, and brother's already there.
Brother, so that's why it was weird, is because we had a transition from the younger brother, the white cat, his fight, to the school. But the weird thing is, he was so nervous, and like honestly, he was like almost crying about his brother being hurt.
Oh yeah.
And the next
that
scene,
makes sense, I
his
guess.
brother's with him, and nothing's.
Already talking to him ESP style through the wall.
He's never been hurt. He's in the class, back in business.
Galling.
Next episode, and it's not a real next episode. It's the
MC.
same movie.
But yeah. So then
It's confusing.
they now have a game plan. They know it's Principal Daddy Cat is the guy who is causing all this stuff, and people are left and right getting infected with, essentially tentacle blobs. And
What
it's
what does the principal call that one student, the depressed guy? Doesn't he call him like a depressed loser or something?
No, he calls him like. There's some weird sayings in
It
this.
is so funny. He was just like bashing that depressed kid.
Oh yeah, he was just like, "You're an idiot. You are worthless. Why are you depressed?" And I'm curious.
No, when he was talking to the teacher, remember the teacher came and said like, "Sorry, the
Oh,
depressed kid
yeah.
was acting up," and he's like, "That loser."
Yeah, that
Hey,
loser.
so funny.
Loser.
Oh my
Yeah, he says, "What a
God.
loser."
Oh man,
What a freaking loser.
That was great. Honestly, it's been DeVito's best performance yet.
So yeah, they go and they start fighting. What kind of tripped me up is the fact that they can teleport one sword amongst two catty boys.
It's
so
a
what
necklace,
What
yeah.
if one of them is like final swing coming down on an enemy and just voip gone? I need it now. Bye.
I mean, I guess they're always fighting together. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
They also can teleport anything, so it doesn't really matter that it's the sword.
They did teleport more than one thing.
I don't.
Their
even,
bodies.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know if they even set
And
that
they can
up
fly
at all.
sometimes.
Oh, it was so bad. Like everything.
Power
felt-
scaling off the charts.
light speed feats.
So
man.
something that we haven't mentioned is that there's this girl, kind of like one of the main characters, honestly, who she's pining after this guy.
It's like
who,
the B-side story, yeah.
He's depressed and he hasn't slept in 4 days because he confessed to a girl that he liked and she rejected him. And this guy's like, they're so depressed. And this girl is trying to get across to him, "I've always loved you. Please love me back." And of course, the girl's friend says he's a depressed loser. It's just so
yeah.
they hate depressed people. It's so funny.
There's no mental illness awareness is in no place in this film. So
she goes to his house.
right. She goes to his house
Hilarious choice.
and wait, what? Hold on. What was the part you're talking about?
I thought it was so funny when she goes to that dude's house and she like, tries to visit him and she's like, "The lights are off," and he's like, "Leave them off."
Leave them off.
It's so funny.
But yeah,
Let's turn on some music. Fuck you.
fuck you, bitch. Why are you even here?
She tries turning on music and he's like,
leave.
Get out of my house.
Leave.
I thought that was so funny.
And she is important because later,
She's kind of like the crux of the
it
film.
really is. Like, she might be the actual main character because later, like we mentioned before, that this particular plague is kind of spawned on by negative thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah, the principal mentions that you can bring a demon out of someone's negative feelings.
And how did the Principal Daddy Cat get her to start changing?
Her feelings were that she wanted to kill the girl that he loved.
So unrequited love scenario.
I think it was like envy something.
Yeah,
I don't
very
know.
unclear. A whole
Yeah.
mixed bag of stuff. And then in that situation, what would you do? The girl that just confessed her love to you turned into something out of 1985, The Blob.
Yeah, so she's like the biggest demon by far.
Right.
Like
and
unreal.
yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people were getting enveloped into her. 'Cause
Right.
all these other people in the school were also demon outing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They like made a bunch of the kids who failed stay after school, and like there were maybe like 15 kids.
It's essentially Akira
What would I do?
ending. What would you do?
I think I would instantly fall in love with her.
Oh, good.
Because I forgot all about her somehow.
Because you realize
Yep.
that she
Yeah,
likes
she
you.
liked me the whole time. That's a game
Yay.
changer.
Everything.
Honestly, if I knew that
Wait,
she's
requited
down,
love?
Yeah.
I'm down.
requited
I'm
love
in.
is actually really easy.
Yeah, this is
dope.
way easier than actually asking someone I don't know that likes me. out.
Girls, if you like a guy, let him know. He will instantly fall for you.
So yeah, so
Potentially,
girlfriend.
don't.
This girl
Definitely.
says she likes you. She turns into a blob, and you're saying that you would fall instantly in love with her
And then I'd walk into the blob.
into the blob,
Right,
because you felt like
fearlessly,
now,
even though the demon hunter is saying, get out of here. We're all dead.
That's great
Patrick,
because that's exactly what
You're
happened.
forgetting he's depressed and a loser.
He is a loser.
He's got
and a
nothing
loser.
to
He
live
made that
for.
so clear.
He
So
has
it's-
absolutely nothing to live for.
It was very weird because he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I just found out you love me. I want to be with you forever," and just slowly walks into the blob. And what happens then?
He said we're gonna
Light
live
pillar.
together eternally. And instead of
naked light pillar.
instead of like
Yeah.
the blob like fizzling out, which I expected,
Yeah,
this pillar of light
Of
envelops
light.
the print. Oh wait, we missed the fight happening in heaven.
Yeah. So there's like they're saying, the fight happening
Above
in
the
heaven.
clouds.
Yeah. So that was our favorite character was
Why were these cats flying above
Yeah.
the clouds?
How did either of them start
a
flying?
literal aerial
There's no
cat
air
fight.
up there.
Principal Daddy Cat's final form was
Yeah.
actually pretty rad. Like I liked.
Principal Daddy Cat Doctor.
Yeah, Principal Daddy Cat Doctor.
Doctor
Um,
Daniel DeVito.
Yes, Dr. Daniel DeVito.
Yes.
And he basically they're having this fight up there, and then their embrace, depressed and loser guy and the girl blob now have this beautiful embrace, releasing what looks like a pillar of positive energy, and just at some point incinerates not only all of the demons on the ground, but the slowest moving pillar of all time slowly envelops Principal
Kitty
Daddy
in
Cat
heaven.
Doctor. And then
Not the main characters.
no,
They're fine.
and then it's
Well, they're
over.
good.
It's not
kids.
over because after the pillar is gone, the two golden naked depressed
right.
loser and main girl soar.
They go to heaven.
I guess
They go to heaven, and you know
Were they
what's funny?
dead?
Yeah, no, I guess I don't know. Everyone in the town can see him because the little girl with the broom is looking up and like.
That's right.
And,
She
or
said,
no,
"Oh
like
my
the
gosh,
umbrella,
that's my friend."
on the umbrella, and she like looks up. It's like,
I guess
that
all
my-
dogs do go to heaven.
Because are you calling her ugly?
no, it's a,
I guess
Yes.
I'm playing
You-
off that
Wow.
in cats.
yeah.
Wow.
There's some logical leaps for that
Wow.
one, but we'll give it to you.
So how could we have made this better? I think
How we
like
made
you
it
said,
better?
expounding on that first
Burn
arc,
the original.
I guess we can
burn
call it
the
an arc.
original footage. Like
I'm
that's how I
saying
make
that
it better.
first bit. I think the first bit was good.
That was forbidden. That
The
was
like girl in the
forbidden
bed,
footage.
and then we find out slowly, not like jarring. You find out slowly she's a ghost, and that's why she looks a little different than him.
Can I just say,
I don't know.
for Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway to have been in this, like, disappointing performance.
I think that their agents didn't read this script, which is kind of disappointing.
You can see my face just staring at Ethan.
He looked like he was gonna kill me.
Because I think what we're doing here is one.
No, we
it's
all know that
really-
you're not a fan of You're not a fan of Mamma Mia was my joke, but I can't say it now.
What is
You feel like
Amanda
you fu-
Seyfried in this
You fumbled
too?
the delivery, so you have to
No,
let
Meryl
it go.
Streep.
You have to fumble the delivery, so you let it go now.
Yeah,
I
I can't
can
say
respect
it
that.
anymore.
I think us saying that like Da Vinci and DeVito were in this as a joke almost gives it like residual credence to it.
No,
being
you should watch it. It's a
savable.
great movie.
Yeah, you
Like,
should watch it.
Savable. This was the worst dub I have ever used my ears
Have
to
you
listen
seen
to.
what's that?
Whoa.
What is
It
that
was
show? Have you seen
bad.
Ghost Tales? What is it? Ghost Stories, the anime.
No, I haven't.
So it's coincidentally the best and worst of all time because they were given it like like when you're dubbing a show, you're given like the script.
Right.
This time they said, "Do whatever you want."
Yeah.
It's so funny. You should watch it.
I will.
They make it into like Mad TV or something,
As long
like
as
South
it's,
Park.
is it better than what we just watched?
I'm saying there's like this one bit where they go up and he says,
Undecided.
he's talking to like his pet
So
cat.
I didn't get a hard yes. So
There's
I
like this
don't
one.
know if I wanna-
There's this one like little kid, and the pet cat says like, "Jimmy, is your brother still disabled?" And then Jimmy says, "No," and his little brother's like, "No."
Oh,
This is an official
my
dub.
gosh.
It's literally like licensed by the studio. It's so
You
funny.
gotta be kidding me with
It's,
that. Well,
imagine watching that on, like Toonami. It's
that,
so
that
ridiculous.
Alone, that alone is gonna be.
Anyway.
better than
All right,
Dark
boys. So
Hat,
what are your
so
ratings?
I think it was
this
fun.
is-
I don't know.
No, this was like a 2.
Not on purpose though, so maybe I'm being too generous.
You might be. I don't know how.
I kind of think 3.5 is
I'm
honestly
appalled. I'm offended.
fair.
by
I would
that.
say maybe a 4
I hate
I
knowing
would
it
put it close
exists.
to 4 too.
because the
I give
details
it
were
a
good.
2.
The voice acting was perfect.
Oh my god.
Except for the female characters, they were disappointing.
I would say that like there was one good voice actor in the whole thing. It was not the black cat.
No.
It was the depressed kid. I think that the girls were really
Pacino?
bad. What?
It was Pacino,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was Steve Buscemi actually. That's who it was.
It's one of them. I don't know. I can't hear it like
For
that.
me, visually, it was subpar at best. Acoustically, it was an absolute
You know what?
train wreck dumpster fire.
I will
It
say the
was,
lack of
but
sound design, which we've established, I love.
I want to
that
give
hurt.
points though for the like Akira-esque like virus.
That's why I'm
thing.
giving it a 2.
That was pretty good.
The art was really
It was
good.
very well animated. You
I'm
could
giving
tell.
it a 4 for that reason alone.
Actually,
Wow.
7. It was really good.
Does the perfect 10 exist?
No, I would say between
Stick
a 3.5
around.
and a 4. I don't know.
Y'all should watch it, rate it for
Yeah.
us, tell us what you think.
It is fun in its absurdity.
And then you
and
can
its-
watch
and
this
its
guy on
shittiness.
YouTube watch
Yeah.
it.
It is on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's
Uh,
on YouTube.
It's on
That's easy.
YouTube. Yeah, so
Yeah, you
we
can
had a
go
good
look it up
time
right
with
now.
it. We'll do another one of these very soon. But
Boys, that was fun.
That
Does the
was
sub
fun.
exist?
yeah, I would think so.
I don't know, I assume.
It might.
We watched the dub, to be perfectly clear. That's how naturally Da Vinci was in
Yeah,
it.
it was horrifying.
The English dub.
Yeah, the English dub, not the
You know,
Russian
Da
dub.
Vinci knows
Not the
English
official
very
Russian
well.
He's
one.
been alive for like 400 years, I think. he
So
learned English.
yeah, thanks y'all for listening all the way through. Really appreciate all the listens. We're
And
on
thanks,
this-
PatBot.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
joining
Thank you
us.
guys for having me. This has been a real joy.
Oh yeah, dude, anytime, come on. Thank you for editing our shows, and
I've done it every time.
yeah, you screwed up that one time big time.
I
but,
don't. I think we deleted that one.
But yeah, we come out new episodes Mondays at 7 a.m. on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, and everywhere else you get your podcasts at. So
Yes.
So yeah, until next time. You
Well,
got.
hey,
You
please,
got.
please
you got
rate
something.
if you can.
You need some more plugs. Okay.
Please
yeah.
rate.
Rate a 5.
5
Rate on
stars, please,
podcast,
please. I
Code
mean,
in the 10 stars.
I actually caulked my bathroom with liquefied stars. It's very shiny.
Right.
It's very golden. It's
Dang.
nice. It looks great. Looks great.
It's awesome.
But yeah. So
Okay.
anything else?
Nice.
Anything to plug, Pat? Anything-
Yeah. Hey, you up? It's my new.
Stop. Absolutely
Absolutely
stop.
stop. Don't plug
All
somebody
right.
else's stuff. I
Then
mean, you
no,
can.
I guess.
So Golden Kamui.
I would say check out the first season. I was blown away, and then
Okay.
I was sorely disappointed by season 2.
All
All right.
I dig that. So I'm good. Thank you for coming to class. And this has been Weebology. You got learned.
You been learned.
You been learned, and you got a little turn. Peace.
Jesus.
Jesus.